Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
And welcome back to another episode of Wrestling is Trash, the podcast where us trash boys and occasionally girls get together and talk everything you could think of professional wrestling. The good and the bad is what we mainly focus on here. Things we like, things we didn't like, what we would do better, what we think is too much, what we don't think there's enough of. We talk everything you can possibly think of. Welcome back again, everyone. I am Trash Boy Numero Uno, your co-host of Wrestling is Trash, Nick Anicelli, coming to you live from California after watching a wonderful weekend of football. So much football that I'm so excited to talk professional wrestling. But before I pass it off to my co-host over here, Trash Boy, I got to give a congratulations to the New York Giants, who had a huge victory on Saturday. Great game, great game. And now our Trash Boy Lou is going up against Trash Boy Dan. We got an Eagles Giants game on Saturday. So with that being said, let me pass it over to my man Lou. How you doing, Lou?
Listen, after 6 years of no playoffs and going, bro, the Giants made me quit sports, period. Like, I know I've talked about it before on my show, the Everything Podcast, which I just released an episode about an hour ago. They made me quit sports entirely, like the Giants. I got tired of 3-win seasons, 4 wins. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. So I quit. I spent like 2.5 years not watching sports, came back in the bubble. Bubble basketball actually got me back into sports. And then I jumped on the Giants in training camp this season. I was like, I'm coming back. That's it. I'm watching football again. I jumped back on the bandwagon this year in training camp, followed them all the way through. And boy, oh boy, what a fucking game. Again, not a football analyst in any way, not here to break down the game, but my God, those Minnesota Vikings, their defense is fucking horrendous.
Yes.
That team has a horrendous defense, and thank God. So, yeah, now we got to play the Eagles, which is going to be that's going to be something, that's for sure. But I will say this. I said last week, if the Giants beat the Vikings, they're going to this fucking Super Bowl. So
they got a lot of momentum on their side, my friend.
I'm going to have to stick with it. And other than that, everything is wonderful. This is a wrestling podcast. I am Lou from the BX Trash Boy number 2. And I'm here to talk some fucking professional wrestling. And that is what we're going to do.
Yeah, there's 2023, man, started off on a hot note. Hot note. Luckily for us and wrestling fans in general, it's calmed down a little bit. Vince McMahon's getting sued left and right. We'll maybe dive into that, but that's the thing. He's back.
What can you say about that guy?
Yeah, there's a lot. But one thing we want to show some love to, if you guys saw our Lou short from last week, is Lou, what do you think of the Hard to Kill show this weekend?
It was a very good show, honestly. Impact Wrestling is flying under the radar. They got a really good roster of people, and they put on really entertaining weekly shows. They put on an entertaining live show. Let me tell you, their live show is fun. It is a fun environment. It's nice, and it's a smaller venues, so it's much more like cozy. Everyone, it seems like everybody has kick-ass seats, so everybody's excited. And you're seeing people you've seen before, except like they're right in your face. Like, you know what I'm saying? People you've seen in all other kind of companies. Surprises. Like when I went to that live show that I was at, Kylan King just out of nowhere appeared. Like we were all freaking out that Kylan King was there. But this pay-per-view, I've been following since I went to that live show. kind of been following the whole progression because it was supposed to be Mickey James's last match. She was wrestling Jordan Grace for the Impact Women's title, and the stipulation was is if she lost, it's her career. So they kind of pulled at your heartstrings a little bit by showing a bunch of old videos of Mickey James from her beginnings all the way till now through her career with the music in the background and the whole thing. So the entrance for her, the pay-per-view was actually pretty cool. She embraced her Native American heritage, and she had a whole the entrance is phenomenal. You should just go check it out if you haven't seen it. Um, but she ended up winning. And that was one of the picks I got right, which is cool because I went 3 for 8 with my picks, unfortunately. But overall, I thought the show was pretty good. It was super entertaining, and definitely the four-way tag match was intense. That was a great fucking match. If you only get to watch one match from that show, I'd recommend that one.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, I only got to watch some of it. The old lady and I went away had a little mini vacation this weekend, so I got to watch what I could. But yeah, it was good. And you know what I like that they did? And I know some shows do. I liked how they started off with like the world title match. Granted, Mickey deserved to be the main event in my opinion, but I thought that was just a little cool thing that they did. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I don't follow Impact as much. I follow on social media. And they're very good on social media, in my opinion, with advertising a lot of clips from this show. I probably should know the answer, but they don't still go. Remember for a while, I think it was in like 2020, they were live on Twitch. I don't think they do that for their.
Yeah, they did that for a while. They played around. I don't know if they still do that.
Because when they were, I was watching weekly. Honestly, I was very Impact then.
They actually had a Twitch. Their Twitch channel was weird because they would broadcast their shows, like if it starts at 8 o'clock or whatever, they'd show their show. But then like all day it's just like classic. Like you turn it on and it's like Samoa Joe and CM Punk.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck,
dude! I
like,
loved
what
it.
Is this?
I loved it because when I was at work, I would just put Twitch on. You know what I mean? I was heavily following Impact. I forgot how long it lasted, but so I don't think they do because I'd probably still be watching. But I wish they brought that back because I thought that was really really cool. But I think this show got, in my eyes, a lot of spotlight on social media. The hardcore fans are the ones that watch Impact, in my opinion. And this got a lot of love on social media. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for them as a whole. Frankie signed with them. Then we got Santarella, got him coming, the Authority. So I thought it was just cool in general from what I saw. I do need to go see that tag match. I didn't get to see the tag match, so I have to.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one to watch. The Santino Marella showed up. You had Frankie Kazarian joining the Impact full time. So
that's huge.
He had a really great match earlier. Well, last year now. He had a great match with Josh Woods. Why do I always get Woods and freaking Josh Alexander mixed up? Josh Alexander and him had a great match for the title last year. Again, I didn't want to touch on that opening match with the world title. That I was really shocked, but once I saw that it was happening, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. You want to give Mickey James and Jordan all the shine, which is cool. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of world title matches opening pay-per-views. I understand why they did it, and the match itself was actually pretty cool. But you open the fucking pay-per-view with a world title match, like that's crazy to me. But again, I understand why they did it.
So would you say? So would you say like the only exception from that is like a Rumble? When the Rumble kind of main events.
Yeah.
The only kind of time that's different.
And the Rumble, and the thing is, when they do that, the world title match is usually like right before the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like it's right before, or no, actually, no, I'm thinking about Money in the Bank for some reason. I was thinking about Money in the Bank, how they have that match usually before the world title, so that you have there's always that chance that somebody might run out in the world title match and cash in their shit immediately. But Yeah, Royal Rumble would be the one because but when they do that, they usually have the match like right before, not like at the beginning. So
Yeah.
again, I know
I
why,
agree with
you
you. I
know,
know why they did it. But you're saying they could have had that as like the co-main event.
and that's the thing too. I also understand why they probably didn't want to do that either because
Of how that match.
they just wanted to give like them all the fucking shine, like they just wanted them to have it all. So, which is pretty cool. I will
Yeah.
admit that it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Will you say at the end of the day, when Mickey is done, will you say she'll go down as one of the greatest Impact stars like ever?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say overall ever. And I was gonna think about it for a minute, but as far as Impact goes, oh, of course,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
Oh,
she
I think
shit,
she still goes down as one of the greats for the women in general in wrestling.
yeah,
In
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah, yeah. And as far as Impact goes, that's a Hall of Famer. That's a whatever accolade could be given to her as far as like
Yeah.
pertaining to Impact Wrestling, she can get them all. Like
Because
she's
it's nuts. Like, is she the longest tenure just running women's wrestler in general? Because I know she debuted in WWE in '06, and she's either been on like WWE or Impact ever since, right?
yeah. There's some women out there who Mercedes Martinez has been wrestling for a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
fucking time.
She's around. I think she's at like 20 years. I think
Yeah, she's been doing it for a long time.
it's
I'm trying to think real quick who else might.
Natalia.
There's really not many. Yeah, Natalia, but I don't think she's like that. I think Natalia's got like 14 years, maybe something like that, like actively in WWE. Um, and I don't know how much on the Indies. I mean, she might be coming up on that 20 year. I really don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would probably say her. Alicia Fox has been wrestling for like fucking 50 years, but she doesn't really wrestle anymore. But still,
yeah.
um, yeah, Mickey is the one.
So
She's
greatest
probably
Impact women's star, then you would say?
yeah. I mean, you don't really have. I mean,
Well, some argue what Gail Kim.
you could say Gil Kim, Awesome Kong.
Kong.
I'm trying to think. The Beautiful People. Velvet Sky and the other one, where the fuck her name is, Angelina Love. Um, what's her name? That's in AEW now. She's almost like a Mickey James. What the hell is her name? She's in AEW now. Madison Rain. Madison Rain
Oh,
also.
yeah.
Yeah, they have a few, but as far as like getting into Mickey James's level, this bro.
I've
They
always
they
thought
got
I've always thought Impact has had a solid, consistent women's division, in my opinion.
yeah, and it's funny because
It's always slept on.
yeah, it's WWE has their women's revolution, but I'm gonna be honest with you, before they had that, the
Impact.
knockouts were doing it, like they were doing it just on a
Yeah.
smaller scale, but yeah, they were definitely getting it on, bro. Like people like ODB and there was another one who she was hanging around with Scott Steiner for a while, but she was awesome too. I can't remember her name.
They had their own Impact women's only pay per view too, correct? Back in the day, I think, or a show or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember
Wait,
when.
oh well, no, I think that was NWA. I got mixed up with NWA for a second. I they might have. I'd
I
have
think
to
they
research it,
did
but
something. They did something. I remember that.
the problem with Impact is just that they moved around so many times, bro, and they rebranded so many times that it's
Even yeah,
it was
they're
hard to keep
on
track
TV
of them.
every day of the week. It seems
Yeah,
like.
like that Twitch thing, that wasn't even that long ago. Like
Yeah,
that shit was like a year or two ago that they were streaming on Twitch. Now they're on YouTube. Like they just it seems like right now they're in a good place as far as this YouTube thing. It seems to be working out with the subscriptions and everything. So hopefully they'll be there for a while. But yeah, it's been hard for them, man. They just flip flop all over the place.
yeah. They're legitimately hard to follow.
Yeah.
Hard to kill and hard to follow. But yeah, I honestly thought in the end, great show. You know, can't complain. You always love seeing them get the spotlight. But after hearing what you said with the tag match, but speaking of spotlight and big, another match in the past week was announced that I know you passed it in our group chat, and to me, I'm excited for this match. At Battle of the Valley, you're gonna have Eddie Kingston and Jay White. It's gonna be a banger of a match.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a hard hitting match right there. Anything you give me anything with Eddie Kingston, and I'm already down. But you talking about they're gonna have a New Japan match, and he's gonna have a New Japan match with Jay White, bro. That show is already a must watch. Those are the only two matches I know about on that show.
Yeah,
Is
they're building
Kaidi and
it up great.
Mercedes and these two.
Yeah, they're building it up great, and because a lot of people, like low key, like obviously not low key, like rag on Eddie for some reason, but I loved following Eddie. Yeah, he doesn't have your typical jacked body, but people like him or just the small, like the not so jacked wrestlers, you would say, like I like that because that's more of that relating thing, and I think that's what
Right.
breaks. And like I know you and Dan, like both from New York, so I know you guys heavily probably relate. Like I'm from the
Yeah.
Northeast, and I feel I relate with Eddie. Just I don't know, Eddie's that guy who's just like fuck it, I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, do what I want, and I'm coming out in a pair of Timbs.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's come out on Dynamite before with his like my favorite outfit that he wore was a fucking he had Timberland boots, black track pants, and a goddamn Knicks hoodie. Like I was like, who is this guy, bro? This guy's the bomb. He's dressed like me out
Even
there. Like it's
even when
crazy.
you ever see the old ass photo of him and Claudio going around, I think it went around during their feud when he's wearing like a shirt and tie, but the tie's like a money design. Like he's just like he don't give a fuck, and I love
Yeah,
that. Like, cause I always liked Eddie from the get go. Like when he came in during the Open Challenge, I was like, yo, I like this dude. Like he came out
yeah,
hot. Like, but where I really like, I've always liked him, but when I've really been fucked with him since that CM Punk feud though.
yeah.
Just, he was
And
he
it's
was
funny
fucking
too,
hot
man,
then.
because I pride myself on kind of like keeping up with like all kinds of different wrestling and whatever. And bro, I'll keep it a buck. I watched Impact. I didn't really watch NWA, but I definitely was a fan of TNA and Impact. But I there was a large gap of time there where I didn't watch, and Eddie was on Impact, and I never like my eyes and him on there never crossed paths. Like I never saw him on Impact. The first time I saw this dude was when he challenged Cody. And he came out, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I hear Shivani go, "That's Eddie Kingston." And the way he said his name, I was like, "Who the fuck?" So I thank
Look,
God for the internet, bro. I went on Google, I started watching all these YouTube clips, and I was like, "Yo, how have I never fucking heard of this guy before?" And as I fell in love with that dude, like
especially
just
because, like I just said, you guys relate so much. How did he
yeah,
get into AEW? Because obviously, when he came in for the Open Challenge, then
yeah,
he the right after the match, Eddie Kingston. Was
yeah.
that like a Cody thing or was that a TK thing?
When I don't know if who it was
I
that brought him in. I think it might have been Cody because Cody's cool like that, and Cody worked with him on the Indies a lot, so he was bringing in people that were like that he's worked with. He wanted to
yeah,
give them like some shine on TV. But I remember when he came out and he cut that promo, and then they had that match. Um, Twitter like exploded. Twitter was like, "Yo, Eddie Kingston is here. He finally la 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 la." And people were tweeting at Tony Khan, "Yo, you gotta fucking sign Eddie. You gotta sign Eddie." Now I don't know if Eddie had already been signed before that, because he'll sign people and then bring
yeah.
them out, but not announce it and shit. Um, but shortly after that, the announcement came that he was signed. So I don't know if it was already predetermined that he was getting signed or they wanted to try him out in that match or whatever. But that dude, man, that fucking I go back and I watch like YouTube clips all the times of like old promos because again, Tony, give us a fucking app so we can watch all this shit. But that promo that he cut on Punk when they were in the ring together, bro, that is must see TV, bro. Must see TV.
That was on Rampage too, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
when fucking Punk calls him a bum and everybody's like, oh my god, he called him a bum. Like that was like the worst thing you could call a human being as a fucking bum.
Yeah.
Shit was
And
hilarious.
you know what I like about Eddie? He does it in every match. And who I'll compare him to, there's only him and one other person that can do this that generally always pops me and the crowd. How he just comes in the ring, talks shit going down like a typical like Northeast person. And then I'm a huge fan of when you like them and the other wrestler just get in and start doing the punches. And the
Yeah,
only other person who gets a crowd hyped like him like that is KO, I think. Like when
yeah,
they just bring people in and they just start punching. Like I want to see the two
yeah.
of them do that together. Um,
That'd be great.
especially because they kind of low key got the same body type.
Right, true.
But yeah,
Yeah, they
Eddie
both have that.
does so many little things that probably like when we went to Double or Nothing. I think that might have been like my girl's like third time in general seeing Eddie Kingston. Like she pretty much just watched the Double or Nothing, and when he came out with the gas can, she was like, "This motherfucker's crazy."
That's a psycho killer.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. My man came out all bloody with a gas can, and I'm just like, I literally laughed. I was like, "Yo, this dude's fucking nuts," and I love him. Like he's the man.
One of my favorite things that Eddie Kingston does is like when because he'll always come out wearing a hat or some shit, and like somebody's talking shit to him like promo wise, and he'll go like this. Like what? Like he does that. Bro, every time he does that shit, it gets a pop out of me. He always does that. Like what? What'd you say? That's like one of my favorite times that he did that was when he was when Miro was cutting that promo on him in the ring.
Yep.
Because if you take one more step towards this ring, Eddie, you're gonna get redeemed tonight. And he tells him, "Fucking, yo, Redeemer, my man, redeem these nuts." I still need to buy that shirt.
Oh,
I really still
I
need to
you
buy
already
that
had
shirt.
that one. That shirt went.
Nah, I gotta get that shirt. I gotta get it before it's gone.
So I think, granted, based off this conversation, I think we're both pulling for Eddie in that match.
And I love Jay White.
Yeah,
but
same.
I don't see how they're gonna have Jay White lose to Eddie Kingston though. But it sucks, man, because it's yeah.
You know what I love though about Eddie? Speaking of him losing, he's that guy I think already, which I think is huge for never holding a world title like an AEW yet or ever or any title, right? I don't think he's been anything yet. He's that dude who can lose all the time and still be like over.
Yeah, he's
like,
another.
And I think that's awesome on him. What? Because he debuted during the pandemic, like 2020, so just about 3 years, and he's already in that territory without being a world champ. Like in a fucked up way, dude made it. You know what I mean? Like he's protected.
That's what I get worried about sometimes. Like when I watch the show in a couple weeks and he's not on there, because I'm like, come on, Tony, don't do this, bro. Don't fuck this up, bro. Eddie Kingston, every time, if you watch, I don't know how much Dark Elevation or whatever you watch, but he's always on Dark and he's always on Elevation. If you you were fucking there when he came out, so you know the pop. You saw the pop in person, bro. Every time his music hits, he gets a gigantic pop, and it's like, bro, you have to understand what you have in people like that. Like, there's some people who come out and get no reaction. They're great. People like a Kip Sabian, who's great. I'm a Kip Sabian fan. I want to see him do more. I think Kip Sabian could be like the Seth Rollins in AEW if they actually give him a chance. But he gets no pop. Like he gets no. They're like, oh, it's Kip Sabian.
Eddie's a crowd.
Yeah, or Trent. You know, Trent comes out and they're like, hey, best friends, yay. You know, but Eddie's music hits. And everybody's like, "Oh shit, here comes!" You know what I'm saying? Like you get that energy, and then when he comes out all aggressive, like he always comes out walking fast to the ring. Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it because we're on the topic of him, but when I went to the show, I made sure I got there for start time because I know he's on that. Which they had Claudio was on Dark.
Okay, so how do they do that? Do they film? Because this is a question I wanted to know. How do they film all that shit? Do they
Okay, so I'll go off East Coast time with it all. Because it starts 8, Dynamite's at 8. So what they do is pretty much Elevation would be at 7. So Doors would be at 6, Elevation's at 7. Elevation goes for about 45 minutes because they're just nonstop. So what they do is, and this is smart, they'll bring them out. As you know, those matches don't really last long on Dark Elevation. Then they clear everyone out of the ring. And then the announcer gets in, counts everyone down from 10, and then they record again. So there's not that awkward silence. They get the pop because as wrestling fans, you're always going to count down. So she's like, next match will be in 10, 9, and then the next one comes. Then they do that. Then then they go Dynamite. Justin Roberts comes out. You know, we're going live in 5 minutes, 1 minute. You know, pumps you up. Then that ends, and then it was about. Well, maybe it was longer for me because it was the ladder match, so they kind of had to clear all that shit up and do that. But then you got to think they got to change the ring. So I'd say it was about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes, and then they went right into Rampage, and then Rampage just keeps going. Same thing. So pretty much you get You get about 3 hours. Well, no. You probably get around 4 hours straight of
That's
wrestling.
almost 4 hours, bro, at least.
Yeah, because literally at 4 o'clock for me, because doors were at 3, at 4, like, dude, there could have been no one in their seats. They're starting elevation. Like, it's not like you could tell they were waiting, because I sat down and the first match started for elevation, and there was like nobody saying. But what was
Wow.
cool about it is once it started, people started going to their seats because like, oh shit, wrestling started.
Yeah.
So I think that's smart that they don't like wait for people to come in. But
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
lot of fucking
No, you
wrestling
get
for.
oh yeah, it's a lot. Like I ain't gonna
You
lie.
get, I mean, you get your money's worth, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see a lot of fucking wrestling that
Yeah,
day.
exactly. You
But
get your money's worth. Like I said, Tony comes out. Oh, Tony comes out right before Dynamite. Pops the crowd where you're at and all that. Which was cool. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was pretty cool seeing Tony. But yeah, you definitely get your money's worth. Except the only thing is, man, their shirts are so expensive, dog. I wanted to get a
yeah.
shirt, and the only one I had that they liked that I had, it was all black, and then it said the Elite and like purple and gold.
Oh yeah.
That was like $40. And I was like,
Damn.
But one thing I was telling my girl, tell me if you think this is a smart idea before we move on. So it's all about local advertising, in my opinion, right? Would it be a dope idea if that every town they went to, the words "the Elite," like in the square and all that, was the sports team's colors?
Oh yeah. If they would if they wanted money, they would do something like that.
Because I know, like when The Rock back in the day had finally The Rock's come back to, and it had the town on.
Yeah, on the back, right?
Because I feel that would you know what I mean? Like I'm not from Cali, but if they would have had something in like Charger colors, like the light blue, yellow, I probably would have caved in and bought it. So I'm like, yo, it relates to me, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think Brock used to do that too with the because I have the Brock Lesnar F5 like with the highway sign shirt. That's like one of my favorite
Suplex
shirts.
City shirts. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite fucking shirts ever, bro. This fucking highway sign where it says Suplex City and the exits and shit. But he used to do that with those shirts.
With the town.
But I think they would have the town, somewhere either on the front or the back. So it's like you would think that's something that they would want to do, but
I remember back in the day too. My dad got one. So I'm from Rhode Island, so Providence is where they'd come, and it said Providence 316. Like, you know what I mean?
shit.
And it's like, yo, you were late to it.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, because I told her, I'm like, yo, flat out, if they would have done that, like any LA, because especially in LA, you could have, there's so many damn teams in every sport. But I was like, yo, like, they should really do that. Like, I think that's a smart idea because you could have done purple and gold for the Lakers, especially being in the Forum.
Right.
Like, I probably would have bought it. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Because I know the Elite in general kind of rocks purple. So I could be wrong. They might already be doing this. And I'm wrong.
All right, hold on a second. Jay Briscoe's trending number 1. Jay Briscoe died.
No way.
What the fuck is going on? Whoa, dude. I should have never opened Twitter, bro.
Yeah.
I just want. Oh my god. Jay Briscoe fucking died, bro.
Jesus. Oh my god. In an auto
accident. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Damn.
Dude, this is fucking terrible, bro. What is going on?
For those listening that might not know, Jay Briscoe, the Briscoe, is one of the best tag teams. Put on some banger of matches the past few years. Passed away, sadly, in an auto accident.
Oh, man. He just posted this picture a couple hours ago with his... Oh, my God, bro. What a fucking bummer.
Oof. That man was putting on match of the year for years. Or contention.
Dude. I'm sorry for anyone. Bro, it's not even funny. I don't know why I just laughed.
Natural reactions, man. Just natural. That's in...
I don't even... Bro, what a fucking bummer, man. Jesus Christ. That is really fucking terrible. I literally went on here to look up the Dynamite card because I was going to ask you about the Dynamite card because it looks like a fucking banger this week. And the first thing I see, that's never good when you see somebody fucking trending number one that has no reason to be trending.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, no, why is he trending? And oh my God, wow, bro. You
When you think
know,
Ring of Honor, you think him. Like you
that
think
he is Ring of Honor, bro. And
he
dude, the Briscoes are like, I'm really glad that they were able to um get as much shine as they were allowed to, because there's certain people in the WB executives that they didn't want them on AEW. So they would have been able to appear had it not been for that. But even with that, I'm glad that they were able to, have these matches with FTR. Um, and I'm glad that they were able to get as much shine as they did last year with all the love from PWI and just all the love online that they got for the work that they did and the matches they had, because they have been doing it so long and they've been so consistently entertaining and great. Man, what a fucking bummer, dude.
just won the
God
title.
damn. Just won the titles back too, bro.
Feel bad for him, his family.
Man, this is
Thoughts and prayers
yeah.
to him.
Tony just tweeted out. Bro, listen, man. I don't know what to tell you. I see Tony Khan just tweeted. Let me just read Tony's tweet, I guess, because I'm trying to get my head straight. Sadly, Jamin Pugh has passed away. Known to fans as Jay Briscoe, he was a star in ROH for over 20 years, from the first show until today. Jay and his brother Mark dominated ROH, reigning as the champions to this day. We'll do whatever we can to support his family. Rest in peace, Jamin. Uh, man, I see all these people on the chat. Beer City Bruiser, that is a ROH legend. Everybody in here is fucking just. It sucks. It really fucking sucks.
I just felt too like you were saying with the exact. I felt they were slowly like breaking that, and they were gonna be on TV because Ring of Honor, whether it's Ring of Honor getting a deal or finally being allowed on AEW, like, geez, man,
Yeah,
that's sad.
remember, like I freaked out. What was it when they were promoting the pay per view? Because
On
I
you,
was like, they showed a video, a little vignette of the Briscoes. It was on. Was it on?
was it Road to
It
Dynamite?
was on AEW's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
But I was like, oh my god, the fucking Briscoes are on AEW programming. Like fucking, it's happening, guys. It's happening. Like they actually physically showed the two of them on an AEW show. It wasn't Dynamite, but it was on their programming. So I was like, what does this mean? Does this mean eventually they're gonna show up? Maybe, I don't know. But man, just all love and respect to his brother, man. He must be going through hell right now. The
thoughts,
family, their
thoughts
kids.
and
He
prayers.
just had another fucking kid, man. Um, that's terrible, bro. And two people died in fucking that car accident. Just that's terrible, bro. You know, one thing on this show what we try to do is we try to spread the love. We try to give flowers to, as many people as we can, because you fucking never know, man. You never know what can happen in life. And look at that. I just went to look at a fucking stupid bro. If I hadn't looked at that Twitter, we'd be going on with the show. Hey, talk a bunch of shit. And meanwhile, this whole shit is going down. Yeah, this kind of derailed us a little bit, but it's just
That's just so young, just so talented. Like I said, they were in the top 5 tag teams of the year.
yeah, they it was, I think they weren't they yeah, they were in the top 5. I don't remember
I think they were
exactly where.
number 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
They were in top 5, not number 5. You know,
I think they might have been 4. I think they
yeah,
were right under FTR, if I think. I don't remember, but
damn shame, man.
man, fuck man, what a fucking bummer, bro. What a fucking bummer. I'm gonna get off Twitter now because any second now,
Oh, someone's gonna say something ignorant.
some fucking idiot is gonna say something really stupid, and I don't even want to fucking deal with that shit. So,
Gotta
no,
refrain.
yeah, man, crazy shit, bro. Fucking wrestling, man. That's the thing too. You you get so attached to these people, man, and you think they're always gonna be here, bro. And shit happens.
Yeah.
Um,
I like to say, tell me if I'm wrong, Kay. Like you said, when you said you're so attached to someone, it's like it doesn't matter how old we are. Even some of them, like we might be older than some of the performers, but in a weird
oh
way,
yeah,
like you look up to them in a way,
yeah,
like not maybe not fatherly figure look up way, but it's like you know what I mean. Like you look at them in that certain light, like damn man, like you know what I mean. Like half of these people, I'd like to say me being 30, I'm around like the age of most of them.
right.
Still I think younger than some of the bigger names, but it's like you look up to them, like I you know what I mean, like how do you not sit here and say that? Like, because like you said, kind of like a family, you tune in to see this individual or this two team every week for years. You know what I mean? It's like you said, it's like their family in a weird way.
Damn, I'm gonna miss that dude, man, because just um, not to stifle past your point or anything, because it's sound. And yeah, it's like it gets weird, especially me. I'm about to turn 45 this year, and I'm over here watching wrestling, cheering for people that are like in their 20s. As it does get weird a little bit, and you do end up looking up to these people, even though you're older than they are. They're supposed to look up to you, but it's the opposite. But man, just to think that, yeah, and again, this is a super selfish thing to say because obviously this dude, this family just lost these kids lost their father, this woman lost her husband. But just to not, you're not gonna see this dude anymore. Um, that's a tragedy in itself, on top of the fucking tragedy of uh what happened to him and what the family's going through. But just man, fuck man, what a bummer, bro. What an absolute fucking punch in the stomach this is. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Um, we'll see, man. Tony is one thing I've seen is that he seems to be a man of his word, number one, and he is just an aficionado and lover of wrestling. And I'm sure that the family will be fine as far as finances and all that. And I'm sure that there will be a tremendous tribute for this person uh, tomorrow night. I really hope so. I really hope so.
He deserves it.
I don't want to hear any political bullshit, bro. This man needs to be given his flowers on a national stage, and WWE, I'm sure they can say something, but he was never over there. So
Mhm.
there's no, all those fans are going to be like, huh? Well, who's that?
Yeah.
They're just not going to know. So, oh, man. Man, the way my stomach dropped when I clicked the search, when I clicked the little circle thing for the search and I saw Jay Briscoe at the top of the fucking thing with like 4,000 fucking tweets. I was like, why is he trending number one? What the fuck is going on? Because usually that means either you're canceled or, something horrible happened. And unfortunately, something horrible happened. So, um,
Again, man, thoughts and prayers to his family. That's awful. Like,
really bad, bro. Absolutely.
just
We love you, Jay Briscoe. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to add to that.
yeah. For those who don't, you know what I mean. He's like I said, I've been very vocal with old ROH, and just him and his brother were just two I liked from the get go, just because they were different. They're hardcore kind of style, just with themselves and everything. Like, do yourself a favor and go back and watch, and you'll see why the wrestling world feels how they feel right now because of the impact and just everything. How great he was, you
Just
know.
the love of the art that they have, the Briscoes, the love of professional wrestling. Yeah, they were the most technical guys. Nah, that wasn't what they were about. They were them boys. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna come out there and they're gonna punch you in the mouth, and if they're gonna out wrestle you in their own way. And 13-time world champions, 13-time ROH World Tag Team Champions, on top of the many other championships that they've had championships in HOG, what do you call it? House of Glory, They were PWG tag team champions. They were champions in Japan. They won championships all over.
Wherever they went, they ended up somehow with gold.
Yeah, everywhere they went, they were champions. So, um, that's a terrible, terrible loss for wrestling, man. Really bad.
It is.
Absolutely terrible, bro. I don't know what to do, bro. Do we keep going? Like, I don't know what to do, bro. This shit is crazy. We were gonna continue going down the news wire and shit. It's just I feel I don't know. Do we just continue? We push on? What are we doing here?
Whatever you want to do.
It's terrible, bro.
Just the matches. Just like think about it. Last year alone, I don't know remember how many pay-per-views ROH had. But both matches they had at was it not Death, was it Death Before Dishonor? The first
Yeah,
one?
I
And then
believe so.
yeah, and then
Super Card of Honor.
yeah, and then they just argue both matches are in probably top 5 tag match of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's
And
not
again, like when we went over the pay-per-view, not the pay-per-view. I'm all tongue-tied. When we went over the matches of the year, I said on there, I'm leaving out these matches because it was in a weird, we were doing AEW and WWE, and although Ring of Honor was purchased by Tony and it's part of AEW, I felt like it doesn't count. Like it almost felt unfair that you got like 2 company matches and against. So I left it out. But dude, that dog collar match that they had with FTR is the greatest tag team match I've ever seen. It's the greatest tag team match I've ever seen. And it's not even close. I can't think of another tag team match that I can even put up there with that. That was a fucking tremendous match. My throat is all fucked up.
Yeah, no, just it was. They just in general all the matches they just did like you never very rarely from the matches from and I'd like to think I'm just like at the beginning level of knowing them. What I mean? Obviously I've been following them. Whatever, and then they were one of the few acts I did follow in ROH when I was watching, and it's like but they were never those people on the card where it was like, oh well their match sucked. Like those words were never put in that.
Right. No. I can't say it. And this is not because of, whatever, but, and it's I don't even know. I don't want to, it's weird. I don't want to say something that comes off fucked up, but it's like, it's almost like almost appropriate that we're talking about him now because I wasn't able to harp on how fucking good those matches were really when we did the wrap up shows just because we were leaving out, that particular brand. But they, for those last couple, I don't know if that Super Card of Honor match was their last match technically because I know that they were doing some stuff with House of Glory. But man, to have those 3 that trilogy with FTR last year and just to kind of cap that off as like the legacy of your tag team. At least people who aren't familiar with this person and kind of want to go back, you have easy access to be able to go watch that, and you can just watch it's just a fucking tremendous wrestling matches. But man, it's a shame, man. Such a young guy full of life to just lose his life that way. It's terrible, bro. Really is.
Yeah, just
I don't
make
know, Nick. I don't know if we can keep. I don't know if I can continue this.
No, I think we can wrap it up, and
Yeah.
we can always save the topic we have, and we can name this episode after him, and just once again, man, thoughts and prayers to his family. I feel it's rude of us to honestly keep going. Like, oh yeah,
What am I supposed to? Oh man, Cody, man, why did they not?
yeah,
Man, I'm not
yeah,
gonna talk about
yeah,
that shit now, bro.
yeah. We have plenty of time to talk about that. Yeah, that's gonna. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. For those listening, obviously, I'd like to think our fan base is more of the hardcore side, especially with our New Japan views. I think everyone understands why this is cut short. Yeah, just kind of not to kind of go down the sad topic again, but it's like we've lost so many great wrestlers and just in people in general. It's like you damn auto accident, car accident, and a car accident, like you said, just take this time, not just from us, but just in general, like daily, like make sure you appreciate the ones you love and saying those words of affection and hugging and the little things, like if that family member calls you, answer that phone, or
Yeah, man.
reach out to that friend that maybe you haven't heard to in so long, because fucked up way, man, life sucks in that aspect, and you just never know when someone's gonna go. This guy who was out here performing for us wrestling fans for 20 plus years, and I don't know the family situation, but I assume if he was in a car, he was going somewhere, and probably just said to his wife and kids, hey, I'll see you in a little bit, I'll be back. And that's just what kills you. So yeah, that's it for here. You know where to follow the show, how to follow that. If not, go watch other shit. But thank you guys for listening once again. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe from the Trash Boy.
Man.
For anyone else who doesn't want to say, for real, thoughts and prayers hit me more and more as I speak and talk about family, just thinking his family's perspective. So, just thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with a Rumble pre-show. But, once again, take this time, hug your loved ones, do what you can, and hope everyone can do what they can to have a great day. And once again, thoughts and prayers to Jay Briscoe, the Briscoe family,
Absolutely.
and the wrestling community for losing a great one. We hope